Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, I would like to offer the tarot forecast, which is an outlook for the upcoming year's energies for the elemental energy sign of water. And water covers the zodiac signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And in February begins the Chinese Year of the Dragon, so I am going to be using a deck kind of fitting for this season. It's the Tarot of Dragons deck, and we're mixing that one with the Angel Tarot. Both are linked in the description if you're interested in either of these decks. And what we'll do is we'll go through each month and take a peek at what kind of energy is coming forward for that time, any messages or intuitive guidance that comes through. Again, I don't usually read future stuff, but in this situation, it's a forecast of the energies at this time, looking kind of the way the stars are aligned right now. This is what I could be expecting. So, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and comment. Let me know what you think of the reading. And the way I've done it this year is a little bit different than what I did in 2022 for the 2023 year, is I go quarter by quarter. So we will look at the first quarter, the second quarter, kind of get the theme of what that quarter is, as well as the messages. So January, starting off, we have the Ten of Water, a contented and rewarded family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. So for January, for water, it's very much about the home. But this is saying that things are going to go very well this first month. It's very positive outlook in the fact of if you're in a relationship, this is really a good time for you. And if you're single, this could also be an indication of a possible new relationship. But being it's the 10 of water, it is the end of a cycle. So there's something that has come to an end, but it's come to a very successful end, a very positive end. And what they're showing me is that January is just going to be an overall really good month for the water energies going forward. So if there's something you've been working on and you're kind of hoping it comes to fruition, this is the time for it to do that. And this is also the time for the relationships, like I said, to get a little deeper and be a little bit more stable, is what they're showing me. So let's take a peek at February. And we have two different cards that came out for this one. We have the Sire of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. So we have earth and fire energy going on here. And with this particular combination, we have some very interesting energy, because the Sire of Wands is really, again, protecting what you've built. So in January, it was all about everything that you've been looking for. It's kind of settling in, it's anchoring down. This is the time for the positive changes in environments. February, you're kind of shoring up the castle walls, so to speak. So this is that time where you're actually fortifying what you've already done. But the Two of Wands, they're showing me, is a powerful time for a couplehood, whether it's you and work, you and a new friend, you and a partner. They're really talking about this powerful meeting of passion minds, and so this could tie into business as well. So you're kind of shoring up what you've got, like making sure it's solidified and anchored. Even though January everything kind of anchored in, you're double checking a few things, but you're also working on teaching the next generation. So there could be a new child coming into the picture, or an apprentice, or something along those lines. But you also have this Two of Wands, so there's that duality. There's something coming up in twos, but you're also working as a teacher, guide, and solidifying the things that you already have. So February is, again, we're looking really positive. There's just some more intense energy coming forward in February with that connection aspect of it with the Two of Wands. So whatever is coming in for you in that duality, the Two of Wands, the two aspect, it's going to be tied to your passion and your creativity. And it could be a passionate relationship or a new business endeavor. But they're tying that. They're showing me a bunch of different information. Sorry, they're tying it to the little guy here, the little baby dragon. So that's where the apprenticeship comes in, or the child aspect, where you're teaching, guiding, or encouraging someone within your realm of expertise, which is the fire, the passion side. So let's look at the Eight of Water. Is our March card. Desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. Everything has been pretty stable and strong in the first 2 months of the year, but in this third month, in March, you're getting a little bit of wanderlust. If you're in the northern hemisphere, things are warming up, so you're getting that urge to go outside more, maybe even want to go for a hike, camping, something like that, or even take a vacation. Excuse me. But this desire to move and the search for something more meaningful, they're not, what my guides are showing me, it's not so much about meaningful in the outside world. You're wanting to take your personal life into a much more deeper spiritual experience, and they're showing me that that's also bringing this new person that came in February, that apprentice, child, etc. You're kind of wanting to guide them as well, but your main focus is you, where taking your spirituality to the next level, tapping into that deeper wisdom and knowledge so that you can expand your awareness and understand the deeper flow of life, the deeper meaning within life. So this first quarter looks really stable, even though it's a lot of water, but water signs. So but there's a lot of stability here. There's a little bit of a passion and teaching moment coming up, but the first quarter is going to be pretty neutral in a lot of ways. It's going to be very positive for relationships specifically, and it's going to be very oriented towards spiritual growth and spiritual existence. So just be aware in this first quarter, maybe picking up a new meditation practice or something along those lines would be a good call. So let's take a peek at, oops, wrong deck. Let's take a peek at April, starting our second quarter here. Just one card, please, not half the deck. There we go. In our second quarter starts with April, and it is the Empress card. So the Empress means there's going to be some very powerful feminine energy coming in, whether that's a new female partner, it is a coworker, something like that, or it could be a female teacher. The energy's coming in very powerfully, and this one is not so much focused on the spiritual, where the first quarter was really about spirituality and the home. With this one, it's talking more about the outside world. The Empress is the queen in her realm, but it's not like the High Priestess, where it's deity energies, what they're showing me. So this could be a powerful leadership. It also could be, if you are a man, and this could be calling out to the more feminine aspect of you to lead with compassion, and lead with grace, so that people see that you can be a leader and be very powerful and strong, but you can also have that compassionate side, that gentler way of dealing with situations. But April is really about finding that balance, but it's going to be more bringing forward a more feminine aspect, but feminine in her glory and in her power. And that is a little bit different than what most people think. The female energy, the feminine energy, is extremely powerful because it is the pathway through which creation occurs. She is also the comforter, the nurturer, the guides, and a woman or a female in her power is amazing to see. It is such a beautiful thing, and that's what the Empress embodies, is all of the aspects of the feminine in her fullest glory. So just be aware that April is really about the feminine energy. So let's look at where are we at? May. Yeah. It is number 13, Release, with Archangel Azrael, which would be the death card in the traditional tarot. And it is the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. The death card has always had a bad rap, And when we tap into the release card, it's talking about what is ready to be let go of. Azrael is the angel, and a lot of mythology is the angel of death. It's not so much that he causes the death, he's there to be a comforting guide to help you process and understand what just happened, because death can be a little jarring. So in this May energy, it's really talking about something that you have been kind of ready to let go of. This is the time to finalize it. It could be a changing of careers, like you're done with one job, you're walking into another. They're also saying it could be the end of a habit, like eating, smoking, drinking, whatever it is that you have had an addiction or habitual return to. The angels are asking you, especially Archangel Azrael, to let it go. You no longer need it. Its hold over you has been broken, and now is the time for you to let whatever it is to go, to release it. It's no longer yours. And they were just kind of jokingly like, and if you have kids that are graduating college, release them to the wild. You've done your part, let them go. So there's a lot of different energies that go along with releasing stuff, and Archangel Azrael can help with the process of letting stuff go, allowing it to leave you without damage, leaving you in peace, leaving them in peace, leaving whatever you're releasing in peace. But it's really a period of letting go, so pay attention to what's going on. You have the Sabbath of Beltane in May as well, and that is a really good time to kind of start something new as you let something else go. So May is really going to be a changing month for you. Let's take a peek at June here. And for June, we have in this deck they call it the Shaman, but it's a major arcana, so this is a life lesson card. But in this one, they call it the Shaman. And the Magician or the Shaman has all of the tools: the sword, the wand, the chalice, and then where's the pentacle at? Oh, haha. And then there's the pentacle. So they have all four of the base elements: earth, air, fire, and water, and they have the ability to manipulate the elements to create. The Magician has tools, or the Shaman has tools, to see beyond the veil. They are a walker within worlds. In the traditional tarot, he has one hand pointing up, usually holding a wand, and then the other hand pointing down, in a gesture of downward motion, because it's the union of above and below. And the shaman, in the traditional sense, is a speaker for the spirit world. They are able to communicate and sometimes travel into the spirit world to do healings, to do rituals, to make sure the spirits are at peace. And so for you in June, it's about not so much the physical world. What is it that you have skills, gifts, and abilities that you can settle things down? You have all the tools available to you. You are not new to this path, is what they're saying. So what is it that you have gifts, talents, and abilities to control, manipulate, and move as needed? Because the Magician is the master of doing these things. They're not done learning. Don't get me wrong. You're not at an end point. You're number one. You're starting. But you have gained more skills than the average person. And so June is a way to showcase that, to help encourage you, and to let you know that the dragon energy and the angel energy in June are here to support you in your creative endeavors. So you have the tools and gifts available to you. And they're also saying in the work situation, this could be a time for promotions or changing of jobs into a higher level, because your skills and talents have been recognized by the higher ups. And if you're on your own business, this is a time for you to shine, just on the fact that you have the gifts, you have this talent, and you have the skills, and people are noticing it. It's a good period of recognition is what they're showing. So let's take a peek at the third quarter, starting with July. We have the 8 of Earth. Skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic, maybe going back to school. So where the Shaman in June was saying you have a lot of skills and available, there could be some big movement within business and that type of stuff. This card is saying, yes, you've had that move, you've had some shifting and adjusting, and now you realize you have more to learn. And that doesn't mean you have to go back to school. It could be an in-office training where you're like training on the job. But this is information that it's time to start opening your mind for new knowledge experiences. And it could be a new spiritual experience as well, but it's really studying, buckling down. And in July, what they're showing me is this is the time for you to pick the next course of study. So far this year, you've been going along kind of being handed, that's not right, the word, being offered positions and things based on what you already have. July is saying, okay, you've got the things that you already have the skills for. You already have the gifts, talents, etc. July is a time for expansion. And so the Eight of Earth is saying your skills have been rewarded with everything else that has went on this year, but now it's time to take things to the next level. Working on a new course of study, picking up some new, if you're doing college, new courses, new meditation, but it's about expanding what you already have by education. So the July period is really about growth, is what they're showing. So let's take a peek at what August has to say. Come on, August, just one. We don't need multiples. There we go. Sometimes 2 will pop out, but when it starts pulling 5 or 6, it's like, no. We have for August, interesting, the 8 of Wands. So the 8th month is the 8 of, Wands. And so we're dealing with an eternal energy here. The 8 of Wands, what this card is saying to me is you're the center of attention. Everyone's eyes are on you. This is a growth period, but it's also that period of rewarding. This third quarter so far is really talking about you being the center of attention, and the 8 of Wands is everything's looking at you. Everyone's looking at you. That's good and bad. Because in the good sense, everyone's seeing the efforts that you have put forth, and that is coming to fruition. It's being rewarded, promotions and, accolades and all that stuff. But there's also a little bit of a warning, because the more at the center of attention you are, the more people are going to try to pick you apart. So this is that time to remember your ego is a tool, keep it in check, and don't get to the point where I know everything and I've got this, I can handle it, because that's when someone's going to be able to catch you and trip you up. They're showing me with this one, this is an eternal cycle. There's ups, there's downs, there's ups, there's downs. So you're in a big up right now, but that doesn't mean you're going to stay there forever. We're human. We have ups and downs in life, and this card is just giving you the heads up. Everything's going great, and you're being brought into the center stage. Everyone's kind of taking notice of you. That's a double-edged sword. So August is really about enjoy where you're at, but just be careful with who's coming in at that time. And they're saying it's someone that you didn't think, like you didn't even know this person really, is the one to watch out for. So just being cautious of that, and having a heads up. And then we have September, we have the Page of Earth, scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something challenging in a new area of study. This third quarter, and I don't know if this is going back to school or what it is, but this is really asking you to step up your education, your spiritual knowledge, your learning, whether it's formal college, university, whatever, trade school, or if it is taking new courses of study, new meditation practices. But this third quarter the third quarter overall is really about growth, but you're at the center of this. This is really you. And in September, you have this, everything that you've been setting up to study, you've been starting stuff in the first couple of months of this third quarter, July, August. In September, you have set a pattern. You know what you're doing whatever it is, whether it's formal or spiritual, you've got a pattern down and you're working on it. You're taking things to the next level in your education and knowledge, and that is leading to a very successful month. September, they're showing me as you stay occupied with what you're studying, this is the time where, again, you're getting a windfall that's coming in, something that's unexpected, so to speak, is going to be coming to you, and it's a positive thing. Like the unexpected is really awesome. They're giving me chills. So whatever's coming in is going to be exciting, and it's They're saying primarily in a financial business money sense, but there also is this side thing of relationship kids. Okay, they're saying something about positivity with children, especially like your children or kids that are associated with you, nieces, nephews, things like that. But there's a lot of positive energy building with that, at that type of stuff. So let's take a peek at our fourth quarter. And in our fourth quarter, we start with the month of October. Well, I say October, the card falls out, so we'll take that one. We have the Ace of Pentacles. There's a lot of new beginnings coming up for water this year, and the Ace of Pentacles is really talking about a new beginning of financial stability. It's also a new beginning of what is it that you've been working towards. If you have been in someone else's business, that sounded weird. If you've been working for somebody else in the first 9 months of the year, in October, the energy is open to you starting your own thing, whether it's a side hustle, whether it's quitting your job and starting something else. As long as you are in the financial stability to do so. I'm caveating that with there. But they're really saying that this is a time for you to beginning something that really is focusing on the home or the finances. So it could be starting a family, working on a new family member, or they're saying it could even be something as simple as getting a puppy, something new into the family, because Pentacles is earth energy, so it's hearth, home, finances, the everyday world. And so you're starting something new with the Ace of Pentacles, and they're just saying that there's something new coming in, or you're starting in the business world, you're starting something new along that lines. So October is a period of beginnings, which, even though it has Samhain, which is definitely a period of endings, is a little interesting. But when it comes to the tarot, I've quit asking questions and just go with the flow here. Because a lot of the times the messages that are coming up are for the person in that moment, and so someone needs to hear that October is a good time to put the stuff that you've learned into action and start something new, and that's what they're bringing forward with the Ace of Pentacles. So let's look at November, and we have the Nine of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Here's the wake-up call for this year. This year's been really positive, really uplifting, very focused on things going with the flow as long as you're in the flow. And November is coming in to say, don't overthink things. The worry that tends to pop up, especially in the darker months of the year, especially if you live in the north, this is a time where you start to worry. Am I doing the right thing? Was that the right decision? Should I have, done fill in the blank? Maybe we shouldn't have started that particular project. Am I doing the right thing with school? The Nine of Air is saying, don't overthink things. That's not what the energy is. So when you start to feel that coming forward, remember repeating the phrase, I am loved and guided by however you see the divine God, source, divine energy. I am loved and guided by God. I am loved and guided by source. I am loved and guided by the universe. And really repeat that every time those worrisome thoughts come up in November, because it's not a negative card in the fact of this is bad for you, doom and gloom. This is catch yourself. November could be a little bit shaky. They're showing some things that are going to test you. They're testing to make sure that you actually have put the work in. It doesn't mean that you fail or pass. If you haven't put the work in, it means things may be delayed later. But this is the month of the testing, is in November. So just basically pay attention, keep yourself in a positive state in that month. Work as much as you can on affirmations, especially just general ones like I am happy, I am healthy, things like that. So let's take a peek at December and the end of our year, the end of the fourth quarter for 2024. Still, I'm kind of in awe that it's the end of the year already. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. this is you protecting. This is you offering protection to others in a way that is within your powers and abilities to do. And that could be simply standing up for someone at work. That could be for defending that coworker against a bully, things like that. But December is about protection, is what they're showing. And with that, you're protecting those who technically could be your prey, because the dragon would eat the deer usually. But in this situation, he's protecting them. He's guiding, showing them some guidance, and that's what's coming forward with this. Is December is protection and guidance. If it, like I said, it's a fit work situation, it could be you kind of defending that person because they didn't do what whoever is coming after them, they didn't do that thing. Or it could be someone that's being bullied and you just step up at that time. But you also have that guidance where you're doing it through example. You're not standing there saying, these are the dictates you will follow. It's, this is how I'm living my life, and by doing so in that positive spiritual growth manner, you're allowing their other people to see what you're doing, and it's allowing them to take notes on their own. And that's the best form of guidance and leadership, where you are the example. If they need to be, if they ask questions, you can advise them, that's fine. But it's your example that's going to show that, and your example comes from the way you live your life, but they're also saying that other people are going to notice that you have stood up for the little guy. Now, with that, it's not standing up for someone who has a victim mentality. That's a little different. That's something that we're not going to discuss in this video. But people who are genuinely being picked on, people who are generally the word just left me. Anyway, the people who are, really seriously having issues in situations, and you're stepping up to say, hey, can I help you with this? Is there something that we can do to maybe go talk to someone about that? But offering them guidance and support is what is part of that defense part of things. So yeah. Overall, this year looks really good. Keep your head up in November. Pay attention to your emotions and moods that month, because it could be a little bit rough. But the first quarter, especially January, February, March, enjoy what's coming. That is really a period of the rewards for the work that you've been doing so far. And they're saying that that's really the time where you've been going with the flow, you've been doing the things, and that first quarter, January, February, March of 2024, allow the universe to bring the stuff to you that you've been striving towards. And then the second quarter is a little bit more, you have to step up and do the thing, but that first quarter is really about just enjoying life where you're at. So with that, I hope you guys have an awesome 2024. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like on it, hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. With that, I will let you guys go, and I will see you in the next video.